Hello friends, welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. I'm Rita, and today I wanted to bring to you a card that can be used for Thanksgiving or also could just be used for the autumn. So let's go ahead and get started. I just wanted to also invite you to hop on over to Rita's Paper Motif.com, and there you can find all kinds of tutorials. And on the homepage, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll find the opportunity to subscribe to my newsletter. Now, the newsletter offers all kinds of things, keeping you up to date, some tutorials, special offers, anything like that. So, back to our card today. So, this is a very simple card, and I'm using the Autumn Leaves. It is a stamp set that rolled over from the last catalog, so you'll find it in the rollover section of the annual catalog. But what I really like about this set is that I didn't get to use it very much last fall, so I really wanted to use it this fall. But what I like is it's an all-in-one, I call it all-in-one stamp set. So you get the basics of the leaves, and then you get these little stamps that can be used as the veins of the leaves. And it opens up a whole bunch of possibilities. Like if you use the vein for the leaves, you could emboss it in gold and just give it that simple elegance. You could use a darker color to just give it the vein look. So whatever your imagination leads you to, this is a perfect kind of stamp in my mind. So this is what I used for the bases of the card today. Now, I'm going to apologize in advance. There's a squeaking going on. It's my smoke detector, and there is no way to second guess. It has its own mind, I guess is what I want to say. It'll beep for a while, and then it'll stop, and it'll beep again, and then it won't beep for a long time, and then it beeps again. So I'm in the process of just getting the whole unit changed up. But I want to apologize in advance. If I wait for it to not beep, that's a hit and miss. So let's just see if we can go ahead and finish the video. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside and show you the card. I'm using a very vanilla, and this is... So I just cut an 8.5 by 11 in half, of course. So this is the 8.5. This is half of that 11-inch part of the very vanilla cardstock. Now our cardstock is a good weight, so I want to say it's good. It's good and sturdy. So you don't just remember that when you're creating your layers. And be mindful of that when you go to mail it. So I just scored it in half at 4 1/4, and now I'm going to use it in the landscape orientation because I want to decorate this front. Now originally what I wanted to do was to layer it up and use some gold and just kind of really doctor it up, right? But in the long run, I decided not to do that. I decided something different. I have this old piece of designer series paper. Now, I don't know when this designer series paper was offered because I just found it in my stash, but it's gorgeous. And we have a lot of paper in our designer series paper in our catalog that has the green and the foil, the gold foil. So this is, to me, is great paper to use instead of using your gold foil. Gold foil in my studio is it's like a prime item, and I try to use it sparingly because it is so beautiful. So when I stumbled on this, I decided I can't just let this sit, right? That gold, it's actually more of a copper, but I decided I can't just let it go because these are perfect autumn colors. So what I did is knowing that this part here of the card was 4 1/4 by 5.5, I just cut, as you can see, a piece that was 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and layer that on the front here. So, you know, I've given you some options for changing this up. You could use just Mossy Meadow maybe, and then you could just put some gold foil. I would definitely cut the gold foil into a frame so that you don't waste any of that beautiful foil that's going to be covered up. But let's go ahead. We'll use our liquid glue. Now my adhesive of preference is definitely the Stamp and Seal, but and I'm bringing this closer to me so I can see, sorry. I use the liquid glue because on video it just gives me that opportunity to move around or to manipulate my layers so that I get that nice even margin all the way around. Now you're you know, when we're looking through a camera lens or we're looking to the side, whichever we might be, it is a little bit harder to get that perfect margin, so you have to kind of move your paper around to get that. All right, so then I took another piece of Very Vanilla, and it was the other half of this, and I cut that down. So this is 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm going to put that right in the middle. And so you can see here that that gives it just a tad, just a little tiny margin all the way around, and it just gives it that nice gold green margin, right? And I think I am going to cut it just a little more. I want a little more of a margin there. So this is something you can do. Sometimes our cuts are a little off, just depending on where we put it by the line. So these are the lines. So sometimes if we put it right on the line or we put it to the side of the line, it will make a difference. So I'm just going to cut a tiny bit off, and that will give me a little more of a margin all the way around, because I really do want this designer series paper to show up. So let's go ahead and put this on here now. I'll go ahead and use my glue again. Again, I apologize for that squeaking. I know it's annoying. Believe you me, I do know. Also, when I have, I can't reach the smoke detector, so when I have someone to come and help me with that, guess what? It's not going off. So, yeah. So it just is playing me for a fool, I guess. But then I went ahead and stamped some of these leaves. So I want to show you what I stamped and cut them out ahead of time. Just because of that squeaking, I don't want to have to subject you to it any longer than I have to. So let's see here. So I did just go ahead and I stamped this larger leaf. I stamped it with the Blackberry Bliss, so in this color, and it was on Very Vanilla. So when you stamp it on Very Vanilla, you get kind of a different tint than you would get on white, right? And then I wanted those veins to show through. I was originally going to do that in gold, but decided not to. And so I just did go ahead and do the veins in Early Espresso. So all of the veins are done in Early Espresso. This leaf was stamped in the Blackberry Bliss. Then I stamped one of the smaller leaves, this leaf right here. I stamped it in Cajun Craze and Pumpkin Pie, so 2 of those. Now the Pumpkin Pie, I did just go ahead and stamp on basic white, and that was because I was out of the leftover part of the Very Vanilla. And then I did just go ahead and stamp some leaves, and from this stamp right here, and I did that in the Mossy Meadow. Now what I also did was I just fussy cut these. So if you have the die set from last time that you want to cut these out, then go ahead. But I don't mind fussy cutting. Now let's go ahead and stick our leaves on here. So you could situate these any way you want. You could pop them up on dimensionals if you wanted to. I'm not going to do any of that. Here's what I'm going to do. This card is super simple. Oh, and I just realized I missed a step. Must be that beeping's got me all flustered, but we can fix it. It's not a big deal. So I'm just going to put this leaf right here. Now I put glue on the back. I am going to take this sentiment on here that says, I'm thankful. I've already got it on my block, and I am going to stamp that. Excuse my reach. I'm going to stamp that in Early Espresso, and I want to stamp it right here on the bottom. So this is a nice, flat card. And we're just going to tap, 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 get some ink on that. I like to stamp before I stick because if, for any reason, if I'm crooked or anything, then I can just turn it over. All right, so I'm going to pull this closer, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this. Now, when you stamp it before you stick, if you get it crooked or whatever, you can just flip the paper over, right? If you wait till like I did, then if you don't get it straight, well, then you have to really start all over. All right, so there we go. That's all stamped. And then I'm just going to position these just kind of wherever. What I like about that vein is sometimes we wonder which is, when we're creating, we might not, if we're not paying attention, we might get the ends mixed up, but you can always tell where the end or the bottom part, the leaf that is attached to the limb, because you have that vein, right? So let's go ahead and put this on here. I'll just arrange it. I also wanted to tell you that if you're watching here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. It does help get the video out there, and also it just helps us. So, yeah. So I'm just going to glue that on here any way you want. You can be as strategic as you want. So let's see here. I hope I didn't get too much glue on this leaf. All right, and I'm just going to stick this right here like that, wanting to keep it on the whole card. And then I'm going to kind of just bring in some color with these leaves. So this is all about leaves, and that, leaves fall everywhere, so you really can put them anywhere. This would be a time where you can use those dimensionals if you wanted to. Again, I'm just going to use the glue. And you can, like I said, you can doctor this up any way you want. It's your card. But it's just a nice, simple card. And if you, just put the leaves like I am with glue, I think it still makes a very nice card. The one thing is if you donate your cards or give your cards away, keeping a card kind of flat like this helps the person that you give the cards to, because they don't have to worry about extra postage. All right, so I'm just going to put this like this. And one more, and we can put it anywhere we want. So I'm hoping that this card has inspired you to use some of those sets that we might have gotten before and just kind of had put to the side or something. It just is nice to use them up. So I'm thinking, where do I want this? I guess I'm going to put it right. Where do I want it? Decisions, decisions, decisions. I guess I'll put it right here. All right, so you can really put your leaves anywhere you want. And there is that card. And then you can, on the inside, stamp your sentiments. So there are some more sentiments right here on the stamp set that you can use. I really think they're nice, nice sentiments. And there you go. There is the card we just made. Very simple. Again, you could embellish it with any of your, any bling that you might have. So let me see what I have here. And we will go ahead and embellish it. And it's raining. If you can hear, it's raining here now. So I have some metallic dots that I think I want to use. So let's go ahead and get those out. And I want to thank you ever so much for sticking with me. I just can't apologize enough for that noise. But you know what? Life happens, right? All right, so I'm going to use some of these. These are kind of a darker, the darker dots, and I am only going to use 3. Actually, you know what? I like these gold ones too here. So let's see. Well, they really do stick. So once you put them down, that's kind of it's kind of hard to get them up actually. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna pull this one up because now just leave it. I'll put one more gold one. Now again, you know what? You can decorate the way you want, right? If you wanted to, you could put a little bit of twine on there. That would look good too. So it's really up to you. So I want to thank you for stopping by. And again, you can visit me at ritaspapermotif.com. I hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you again real soon. Thanks so much. Bye now.